Southwest Topeka has a good neighbor. State Farm agent Jim Garrison, now at 29th and Urish. If your current insurance situation has you going around in circles, get off the roundabout and stop in and meet Jim and his wonderfully efficient staff. Let Jim Garrison give you a quote and make the Garrison comparison. He's confident that with State Farm's competitive rates, the right coverage, and his unmatched service, you'll want to make him your new insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Jim Garrison is there for you, northeast of the roundabout at 29th and Urish.
When someone has a passion for what they do, it comes through in the product they provide their customers. Just ask LaRocco's Pizza's new owner, Jason Johnson, about their crust. They make it every day and let it rise for a minimum of 24 hours before they use it for their pizza. And his staff doesn't want to do anything they won't be the best at, and you can taste it in their pizza. LaRocco's Pizza, just a half block north of the I-470 and Gage Boulevard exit. Come taste the difference.
It's time for Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Preferred Advisors.
Good Saturday morning. This is Karey Brown with eXp Realty and Preferred Advisors team, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. Today I am here with Sheryl Blue. Good morning, Sheryl.
Good morning, Karey.
Sheryl is a professional organizer, and she does estate sales. She is a woman of many hats.
Yes.
Sheryl, tell them about your company.
Well, my company, the name of my company is Blues Moon Professional Organization, and it's what it sounds like. I love to organize, so I do a lot of things. I organize closets, kitchens. I've done offices, paperwork. I organized some sympathy cards one time, and on top of everything else, I do organize sales for people. So I've done garage sales, I've done tag sales, moving sales, and estate sales.
So, like I said, a woman of many hats. You just recently helped a client of ours downsize so that they could move into their new house.
Yeah, that was a great experience. They were great people to work with. She was one of those people that was a little bit in the overwhelmed stage when she got a hold of me. And she was right in the middle of packing her house. All her belongings were in boxes in her living room. She was working to finish that up, working to finish with the builder and the real estate agent. And basically, she was packing things and then sticking things in the garage that she knew she didn't or couldn't take with her to her smaller home. So that's when I stepped in. I organized everything, got everything priced, did a lot of advertising for her. It was a pretty quick turnaround, so I was pretty proud of myself. We did a really great job. I finished clearing out the leftovers on a Monday, and I believe they closed on their house on a Wednesday. So that's how close she was to just like not knowing what to do. So, that's one of the reasons I really love my job is I really helped her, and we became friends throughout the process. She was so stressed. She'd step out in the garage, visit with me. I made a friend in the process, and I helped her through. So again, that's one of the reasons I really like what I do.
And she raved about how great of a job you did.
She was a wonderful lady.
Absolutely. We were really excited for her. And, building is stressful. That particular build job, I kind of got in on the end of it. And, kind of when you're the role of the broker, that's sometimes what happens.
Yep.
Is you get to slide in on the end of it.
And fix it, as I understand.
Yeah. And so that was my role in the job. And, it worked out in the end. And I think it sometimes is just stressful. Building is stressful.
It is. There's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. So. It's really rewarding. But it can be a lot.
Yeah, and a long process sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just getting all those pieces into place and staying within a budget and, it's a lot. So, okay. So, obviously, like you said, it's super rewarding. What made you decide? Because you used to work for years at a casino, correct?
That's right. I've been in the advertising industry for about 38 years before I decided to jump off and try to do this, which in reality, I wanted to be an interior decorator when I grew up, and I never really got that far. But I still like to help my family organize and decorate and give advice and all that. So I finally decided that I would just take a leap and see what I could make out of it before it was too late to try. And, what I found and did not expect is how rewarding it is to help people that really, really need help and reach out to me for help. So, and when they're trying to downsize or something like that, I feel like I'm a very good sounding board to help them make decisions on what to keep and what to get rid of.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody, I think, has that room. Now, there are some houses that I've been into, and I'm telling you right now, you OCD people, I love you. I love you. I just want to, just lay in the middle of your living room floor and just enjoy all the organization. And I know that's creepy weird, and I would never do it. But it's just like, everything's where it's supposed to be, and, you just love it.
It's a really good feeling.
Yeah.
And, it also helps with, eliminating buying things that you may already have, but you just don't know where they're at, or, you bought a birthday gift for somebody and it's stashed away in a closet. So, there's a lot of benefits to being organized, and being relaxed and calm is just one of them.
It is super calming. Just going through people's houses as far as listing and stuff like that. In our business, there's no judgment. There really isn't. I don't care who you are. There are those people that are like super, super organized. My best friend's one of them. I love her. I really wish that it wouldn't cause her to have a complete stroke. I would have her just come to my house and live and organize me, but she would be like, girl, I'm not coming. So anyway, it's just everybody has stuff.
They do.
And you're tired when you get home and there's things going on. And in our house, we should really just hand out, lint rollers because we have Zeus and he's a husky. And I don't care how clean my house is. And if I just swept and mopped, if Zeus comes running down our stairs, there's this cloud of Zeus coming in behind him. So, you just never have, everybody has something.
That's true.
That's
very
going
true.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so unless you want to live with plastic on your couches, you've got life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I never walk into a house and judge. I walk into a house more and try to decide, what I need to do to help these people, get to an organized state. So,
absolutely. Same thing whenever we go in to price a house. We would rather come in, even if the house in your mind is, listen, I've been working all weekend, I haven't had time to clean. This is what I'm thinking. Am I going to get my money back? I would much rather see your house in complete disarray and you tell me, listen, structurally, that's really all I care about.
Right.
I know that when you put it on the market, you're not going to have a lot of that going on. Your ditches are going to be clean. You're going to have it presentation ready. Most people, that makes perfect sense to. It's just, is remodeling my kitchen going to get me back what I want? Or, is painting the entire house going to get me what I want? All of those type of things. That's what I'm there for.
Right.
And pricing and making sure that you're going to get the money out that you want. Or, does remodeling make more sense? Or adding on? Or, all of those questions. That's what we're there for.
Right. And they're looking to you for that kind of advice. So, and you help people too. So,
right. Whereas you come in and you make where they live where they want to live. Everything has its place.
Yes.
Their rooms
feel good, organized. And that's the thing I can help with too. If a person puts their house up for sale and is struggling with how to make it presentable to put it on the market, I'd be more than happy to come in and help them declutter and stage the home so that it gets sold quickly.
Yeah, and we had a gal that they hadn't parked in their garage in years. I mean, probably since they bought it.
Long time.
Yeah, and you went in and helped them do a garage sale, and they made really good money from what I understand.
They did, and we got rid of quite a bit of stuff, too. So it was a very successul sale.
And they got to park in their garage.
Yeah, for the first time.
Yeah, ever. So, and it just sounded it was just rewarding. I mean, they were excited about it. Okay, so let's talk about the process. Obviously, you're starting a new year, and you look around your house and you say, okay, I'm going to stay here. This is going to be where I'm going to stay, and I want to be able to use this room. Say your kids moved out and it turned into the junk room, but you want to use it for a craft room or something like that. What's the process?
Well, I would go in and take a look at the room and understand how they're going to use it, and what we have to deal with in the room currently. And then, my favorite thing, and people hear me say it a lot, but if you start with the plan, you're always better off. So if we go in there and say, we're going to donate old clothes, we're going to throw away obvious trash, but in reality, what I do is I start in one corner and work my way around. And, when you're downsizing or eliminating things, you really have to stop and take a look what it is. It may be difficult to get rid of it. Maybe it has an emotional attachment. But that's where I come in, I think, when I help people the most, is we can kind of work through it together. There's other ways of saving those memories, like a digital photo album or something like that. But as long as we understand what needs to happen and we make a plan on how we're going to get it done, then we move forward with a plan, and it ends up as an organized room. After that, I kind of like to leave tips to help people keep it organized. If you get something out, put it away.
Yeah. That's the hard part.
Yeah, it is. I know.
Everybody, I don't know if you're like us, but you get home at the end of the day, you make dinner and you just want to sit down because either you're brain tired, which is usually me. Not that my husband doesn't stress his brain, because he does, but he also is very physical with what he does. So he's really physical tired. I'm really brain tired. And between the two of us, we almost make a whole person. It's like, no, I really don't want to scrub the house from top to bottom.
I get it. And that's, again, where I can come in and help people. And typically, some people can only really do hardcore organizing for a couple hours at a time. So a lot of times I'll schedule, 2 hours a week or 2 hours every other day. So the process isn't as overwhelming to someone.
Which makes perfect sense. Okay, so you do auctions and sales. So let's talk about that. What's your process in all of that?
Well, what I've done with an auction is basically, it started helping the client downsize and understand what he was going to keep. He was going to move into a mobile home and sell. And when he decided to sell, he decided to do an auction, and we did it off property. So my job in that instance was to help him decide what to sell. And then we hauled it all up to the fairgrounds, in reality, and I set it up for the auctioneer. So I didn't really do any of the pricing or any of that thing, but I made it so the auctioneer could come in and walk through and auction things off. It worked really well. Now, if I'm going in for an estate sale, again, I'll start with a plan. I'll take a look at what we have, trying to determine how long it will take me to get through it all, which is sometimes longer than I think it is. Then I provide all the tables, so I'll bring in the tables, set things out, do any research on pricing that's necessary. I do all of the setup pricing. I handle all of the advertising, and then in the end, I manage the sale. So I typically do a 3-day sale with a half price on the last day, and that typically gets things pretty well cleared out. After that, I come back, usually a 1 day, and box up what's left, and from there we decide what we want to do. Do we want to donate it? There are people that will come and pay you a fee to haul off your leftovers. So there's various options, but we work through that. And hopefully by the end of the sale, your house is clear and ready to go.
And I understand that you have a New Year's special going on. Tell me about that.
Yep. I wanted to wish all of my clients and potential clients a Happy New Year with 10% off. So basically I'm offering if you book 4 hours worth of time, and that can be done in one chunk or two, by February 28th, you get 10% off the package price. I do have a big sale already on contract for March, and then after that, I'll be open for more business.
You mentioned that you do all the research for pricing. What's been your biggest sale to date?
My biggest sale to date was almost $8,000, so the client was very pleased with that.
I bet they were. And so when doing the research, obviously, like Google, or do you, like, whenever they have China and things like that, how do you find the pricing?
Yeah, I do a lot of research, actually. I'm not a licensed appraiser or anything like that, but there are several sites I go to online to try and get an understanding of what it's selling for online. And then since I've been doing it for a while, I kind of have a good feel for what they'll actually pay for things in the market. So, I try to be realistic about what it'll sell for, not price it so high nobody will want to buy it, and not price it so low that you're kind of losing money on it. So I try and come up with a good price in the beginning.
Do you find that people will barter? Try and barter with you?
All the time. Yep. They always pretty much want to walk in the door and make a deal. So our policy is basically we're open. I'm usually open to listening to what they have to say, but keep in mind that on the last day it's going to be half price. So if you want to take the chance that it'll still be here on the last day and you can get it at half price, that's your your choice, or you can work with me and we can get it sold today. Is usually how I try and do that.
Absolutely. And I've talked to, I work with a retirement community, and I've talked to a lot of people that are working their way towards the retirement phase of their life. And so they're looking at selling their houses and moving out, and some of them, it's kind of a unique thing, because I always looked at retirement as their health was bad and they needed to get to another place. But there's independent living, and that's not necessarily always the case. They don't want to be tied to the house anymore. They wanted to be able to travel. So then there's apartment living, basically, where, they have that community, but they also have that freedom.
Right. And they don't have to deal with the yard work and things like that, maintenance of the place. Yeah, that's a good option for people.
Worrying about the house when they're not there.
Right.
Or the animals, or, all that kind of stuff. So they have some freedom. So anyway, and working with them, what they're finding is that, they're from a generation, and I would say probably I'm still in that generation, but we've passed down, heirlooms and all this stuff. I mean, I have my grandmother and great-grandmother's china, and those things mean something to me. Do I get them out of the box? No, because I'm scared I'll break them. So does that make sense? No. But it also makes sense to why my kids probably won't want them, because it's just been in a box. Why do they care?
Right. And that's what we find out a lot is your kids really, they don't have room for it. They're tiny living. They're not as attached to those things as our generation was.
It's weird. In a way, but then it makes perfect sense too.
Well,
so
when you think about how people are living now, they're more mobile, they're living in smaller spaces. So I guess we don't need as much stuff as we thought we did back then. But, a lot of people, that's what I see in a lot of the houses I go to, is they have everything and their children don't want anything. Mm-hmm. So, again, that's where I try to come in and decide, what do we get rid of? How do we get rid of it?
Which makes perfect sense. We will be right back after a word from our sponsors. Thanks for listening to Real Estate 101.
When someone has a passion for what they do, it comes through in the product they provide their customers. Just ask LaRocco's Pizza's new owner, Jason Johnson, about their crust. They make it every day and let it rise for a minimum of 24 hours before they use it for their pizza. And his staff doesn't want to do anything they won't be the best at, and you can taste it in their pizza. LaRocco's Pizza, just a half block north of the I-470 and Gage Boulevard exit. Come taste the difference.
This is Stephen Parkin at Invista Credit Union. Purchasing a home is one of the most exciting and important decisions someone can make. Let me tell you why Invista is the best choice for financing your new home purchase. First, quick pre-approval process. Our fast decision-making gives you the power to act quickly and make an offer on your dream home. Second, local servicing. We service your mortgage in-house. You won't get a long-distance runaround, but a committed professional whose only job is to help you. Third, experienced team. We are dedicated to simplifying the process and educating you through the home buying process. Come by Invista. It's okay to dream. In fact, it's encouraged. We are your home buying partner. Give us a call at 785-228-0149.
Thanks for joining us again. This is Karey Brown with EXP and Preferred Advisors team, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. I am back with Sheryl Blue with Blues Moons Professional Organizing. Sheryl is, she's been on the show several times, and we were just talking about, the older generation, which again I fall in, of collecting things and passing down heirlooms from generation to generation to generation, and then you go on to my children's generation, and they're just. I can honestly say that we contributed to this because we stopped buying our kids Christmas presents and we started traveling with them instead. We decided that we didn't want to raise entitled brats, and we didn't want to give them, just stuff to give them stuff, I guess. So we wanted them to see, people live without things around the world. And so we wanted to give them more culture, I guess, really. But they also are not attached to things at all.
Right.
So like grandma's china, I don't know who's going to end up with it. But how do you help these guys transition when the kids don't want it?
Well, it happens in most cases, but basically what I would do if somebody was wanting to downsize to move into an assisted living or something, again, I'm a planner, so I would want to understand where they were moving to and how long we had. Usually longer is better when you're trying to go through all your life's possessions. It's not going to get done in a week. Then I like to understand where you're going. How much space do you have? What are you going to do in that space? Is your new space, in an assisted living and they're going to do all the cooking for you, or will you have a kitchenette? There's all kinds of things to consider about the space they're moving into. So from that point, I help them understand what they need to take with them, what they have space to take with them. Have they distributed all of the sentimental items that possibly somebody else in the family might want? So I try and get a feel for all of those things, and then put a plan together on how to make it happen for them. Whether they're going to donate all the stuff they don't want, or whether they want to have an estate sale, we'll determine that at the end. And then I will help them go through the house. So basically, I start room by room. It's easier to start in a room where you don't have a lot of sentimental attachment items kept, for instance, the laundry room or, the linen closet or something like this. So start small, but do one room at a time. And you really have to go through everything when you're downsizing. It's just take a look at it and determine whether it's something you need to keep or something that can be gotten rid of. And basically, I'll help them to divide it into these 3 categories: something they need to keep, something they want to donate or sell, and something they need to toss. And what I will not encourage is the maybe pile. I've been reading lots of articles on downsizing lately, and they all talk about the maybe pile and how that's just not something you need to create. Not only is it going to create more work for you on the end, but it's liable to sit there and not get done at all. So it's important when I'm helping people downsize is to make the decision right then and there. Is this something I need to keep? Is this something I have to keep? Or is this something I can get rid of? Then it really is up to your children and your relatives as to whether they want something or not. And, and a lot of times I end up selling that kind of stuff in an estate sale.
Which, makes perfect sense. You may as well get the money for it, if nothing else.
Exactly. It's a good way to get rid of things and put a little bit of money in your pocket and make sure you're only keeping what you need.
So no maybe pile.
No maybe pile.
I had a friend of mine was showing me, and it was talking about the closet, which I had seen before, where you turn your hangers a certain direction, and at the end of the year, if it's not turned around, then you've got to get rid of it, donate it. First off, man, I'd hate to have to turn all those hangers around, but
I do it.
Do you really?
I do it, yeah. But then in the end, I don't typically throw everything out. I look at it first and decide whether I must keep it or not.
And there are so many great charities just that need assistance. There's there's a transitional charity that's out there now that I had actually had on the radio show, where it's odd, but girls that age out of the system, if they're pregnant or have an addiction, there's a plan for them. But girls that don't have an addiction or a baby, there is no plan for them. Well, now they're homeless.
Right. And
so they've made this transitional housing to where, they now have a place to go, which just seems so odd that, here you are, you're doing what you're supposed to, but now you're homeless. Well, that stinks. So anyway, there's so many different places that you could donate to, clothes and furniture and things like that if you chose not to sell.
In my opinion, that's a different kind of value. That's the value in helping people that can't help themselves or just need a little extra help. I do donate a lot in the Topeka area and like to keep it here and make sure it gets to people that it can truly help.
Right, and those homes are here. So if you want more information about it, be sure and text us at 785-213-5188 and we can give you information. If you're wanting to, and there's nothing wrong with selling it. No. Obviously, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But say, for instance, in the sale, if it doesn't sell, and you want to donate it, it's definitely a perfect option.
Yeah, and you can also, if you are able to itemize on your taxes, you can include the things that you've donated in that itemization.
Sheryl, how can they find you on social media?
Well, the best way to do that is to follow my Facebook page. I post a lot of items there about sales I have upcoming, before and after shots of organizational jobs. They can find out more about me on Facebook. And you have to search for me by Organize with Blues Moon. So it's Facebook/Organize with Blues Moon.
And we will, whenever we post the audio of this, so we post it after the show airs, you will also be able to find a link to that there, because we also tag her, and then we try to tag her page also. If we can't, then we'll be sure and add that in. And we'll also share tips from the show on the post also. And, by the way, we have 3 trade shows that we'll be doing the first quarter of the year. We'll be at the Bridal Fair, the Home Show, and the Garden Show. So we have a lot of tickets, typically, to give away. So if you're not a member of our A-List group, be sure and send a text out to 785-213-5188. That is our Facebook A-List group. We'll be giving away tickets. So be sure and get into that group so you can have a chance to win a ticket. If you're looking to buy or sell in this year, be sure and give us a call at 785-213-5188. We've got some really great investment properties in Manhattan, a bunch. So if you're looking for anything multifamily, we've got it. Also, we'll be listing here really shortly. I have a side-by-side duplex that's over just down from right across from Washburn, really. It's just a few years old, has 4 bedrooms on each side, so very nice. Be sure and check that out on our website, which you can find by searching preferredadvisorsteam.com or by looking for topekahomeadvisors.com. Both go to the same place. And again, you can find homes from all 4 MLSs on that website, which is Kansas City, Lawrence, Topeka, and Manhattan. We'll also be listing a house out in Salina soon, so we'll be a little bit everywhere, so be sure and check that out. If you're looking to sell real estate and join a team, be sure and give us a call at 785-213-5188. We are hiring. If you would like to know more about eXp Realty, be sure and give us a call, 785-213-5188. This is the first company that does offer revenue share. Revenue share being off the top, not after everybody's taken their cut, and stock. So it's definitely a good way to diversify and make more money just by selling homes. So check it out.
This is Rory Chapman with Loan Depot, here with your mortgage tip of the week. Let's make 2019 your year. Are you buying a new home this year? Before you apply for a loan, you'll need to collect a few items. The following information and documentation will be required to complete your loan application. Here's a handy checklist to help you start collecting these important items. Your residence history, previous address for the last 2 years, and how long you lived at each location. Your employment history, names and addresses for all employers for the last 2 years, and dates of employment for each employer. We will also need the last 30 days of pay stubs, the 2 most recent years of W-2s, year-to-date profit and loss statement and current balance sheet if you're self-employed, an award letter if you are claiming Social Security or disability. Checking and savings accounts will need your 2 most recent monthly statements. The same applies for stock and mutual funds or 401k and retirement accounts. If applicable, we will need complete bankruptcy papers, including discharge, divorce papers, and child support papers. We'll also need your driver's license. Additional information if you're refinancing. We'll need a copy of your most recent tax bill, a copy of your most recent homeowner's insurance bill, and a copy of your most recent mortgage statement. To fill out your home loan application, visit my website at www.loandepot.com/Rory Chapman, spelled RORICHAPMAN, or call me at 785-249-5496.
And to wrap up the first show of the year, Sheryl, what's your number 1 tip for organizing for 2019?
Start with the plan. Start with the plan, get it on your to-do list, and then execute accordingly.
That sounds like some serious wisdom. All right, and if you're looking to buy or sell, be sure and give us a call, 785-213-5188. And thanks for listening to Real Estate 101.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Preferred Advisors.